In today's video, I continued from the previous video where I tested the car for the first time. I started by checking if the sound from the rear of the car is still there. Yeah, so it's still there. So let's back in the car again and take a look underneath. Now I'm kind of, I don't know what caused the reason for the rear to have this sound, which it always has when driving. I think because I looked underneath, tried to rotate the wheel, couldn't hear or see anything wrong. Put it back on the ground like now, pushed it back and forward in case the tires needed to have some weight on them. And still nothing. So probably has something to do with, I guess it has to be on the ground, like has some weight to it. And I don't know, I'm gonna try it just a bit more. So I can definitely hear something now, very clearly. Now I just have to figure out what's making the noise. I'm actually kind of glad it actually made noise, because unless you can kind of provoke the fault to come forward kind of, then if you can't do this, then it makes it very difficult. But if you can force it, makes it a lot easier, or more easy. Okay, just took another test drive, and I think I have somewhat of a clue what can be the reason for this. What is the reason for this sound? What I think is can make the reason is because my Haldex controller is set very aggressive. When I had this setup, because since all of this, the engine, the driveline, the gearbox, the rear differential, everything comes from the Audi S3 I had. And I had the same Haldex controller on that one. It was super aggressive when it was turned all the way up. First I was driving with stock setup, the Haldex setup. Then I decided to I bought this power track insert, which it's a small thing. You modify your stock Haldex controller unit. It makes it more aggressive. Then I decided I wanted even more aggressive. So I decided to go with SQS Racing Haldex controller, which is a mechanical Haldex controller. It doesn't require any wires at all. The only thing, the Haldex pump needs 12 volts and ground. But other than this works without any troubles. But the thing is, of course, when I put it on my S3, I put it to like 100%, not 100, I put the Haldex to 100%, so the power distribution between the front and the rear wheels would be 50-50. It's like if you have an Audi with the Thorson Quattro system. It's like you're driving this with a welded mid differential, just welded, because it's completely shut. That's in very basic. It's how the Haldex unit works. It's kind of it's instead of a differential in the middle of the driveline between the front and the rear. When I was backing in the car, I was going this way, and then I was backing in to where the car is now, and it's the loudest sound. Jesus Christ, if I didn't know better, I would think like the wheel was gonna fall over. It was like this metal to metal sound, like poof. Just before this, it hit me that probably the reason why this noise I'm talking about may be coming from the Haldex being set as aggressive as it is. When I had all of this in my S3, I drove it for, I think it was 1 or maybe 2 days with this aggressive setup, and then I just I need to turn it down, so I turned it down. So it was probably around 60 in the front and 40 in the rear, or 70 in the front or 30 in the rear, some in between there. And this worked out actually pretty good. I need to jack up the car and reach underneath with my arm to be able to adjust it. It's not electronically at all, this is mechanical. My reasoning for this being the problem is, since I was driving the car today to check if this problem still occurs, and then of course it occurs when the first time I was driving this evening, and then I put the car back, but the pressure inside the Haldex unit needs some time to be able to be released, the pressure. Maybe this is the reasoning why I still can hear this noise, even though the car was off and the Haldex pump was not running when it was here. Doesn't make sense? In my head it kind of does. At least this is my my theory for now. So you can see this red unit, which hopefully is in focus. Like that one. This one, that's the one which you need to twist in one direction to make the Haldex more aggressive, and another direction to make it less aggressive. This Haldex controller, you can turn it 5 full times in this other direction, and then you will have 100% front wheel drive. I took it now, and if you twist it the other way, like I already have, you will have 50 to the front and 50 to the back. So to me, I took it all the way back, just because I didn't remember how many turns it was. Took it all the way back, and then I took it 3.5 times, tighten it. For me, it's the easiest way to think about it is that one turn is 10% of the like, if you don't have any turns, 100% of the power goes to the back, and for every turn, full turn of this, you put 10% to the rear wheels. So you can only take it 5 turns to get 50% to the back. So what I did now, which I took 3.5 turn, about 3.5 turn, so it should be 35% power to the rear and the rest to the front. Let's take her down and I will go for a drive. Fingers crossed it will be more. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Like, it does not matter, what am I gonna say? Like, anyway, it should be more comforting and more drivable. I think I think the drive shaft is loose. I think the drive shaft is loose. Okay, I am very sure that the drive shaft, like the, what's it called, the Hardy coupling, like the rubber part between the drive shaft and the rear differential, it's loose. Yeah. Jesus, I'm glad this happened here and not in Mexico. Would be a long way drive home. Holy shit! Okay, you have to watch this. Come here. Are you able to see this? So this is supposed to be connected to this. It's not supposed to be like this. It's supposed to, yeah. This bolt, I'm not sure if the camera is able to focus, hopefully, but this bolt is going through the Hardy coupling and into the differential, and this is supposed to be, how can I, supposed to go here, like this is supposed to go here, the one here is supposed, yeah, all three bolts have just snapped. Jesus. At least we figured it out. What made the noise? What I need to do is to... I'll put you on this. What I need to do is put the drive shaft a bit away from the Hardy coupling to be able to move Hardy coupling. Now I need to remove it out of the way. And I think the easiest way to do this is to release the mount, the drive shaft mount, in the middle of the tunnel. Move it down, so then I will have a bit more space. Now I'm just thinking out loud. But yeah, remove it in the rear, no, in the middle. So I will have a bit more space and be able to take the coupling, no, the drive shaft out of the way. I then can remove the Hardy coupling. After this, I need to remove the broken bolts in the Hardy coupling. Should be easy, but in the drive shaft, find to do it in some kind of clever way. Hopefully I can just drill them out, but I don't know the English word, but it's like a drill bit which you drill into the broken bolt, and then at some point you can kind of, it will hook to the bolt, and then they both will drill itself out. I think you know what I mean. Or I just drill the bolt out or something. Get it out, buy new bolts, torque them to spec. Need to find out the spec of the bolt, because I just been doing it, you know, by hand without. And after this, drive with the Haldex pressure setup, which I have now, or power distribution, which I have now, to make this not happen again. So I'm going to not do this in today's video, I think, or maybe I will. I usually don't plan this far ahead with my videos. If this is it, then see you next time. Thank you for watching.